Another family who spent longer than they had expected were actually in their own home. They were cut off by the earthquakes at home. Chris and Anne-Marie Lidgard's home on State Highway 1, just north of Kaikoura, was cut off by slips in both directions. Their closest neighbours are the seal colony at Oho Point. The family of 4 has spent the past 11 days isolated, but were today flown to Kaikoura by Civil Defence after learning it would be months before the highway surrounding their home would be repaired. Chris Lidgard is the dentist in Kaikoura. He's also a local cafe owner. I spoke to him a short time ago after he'd assessed his cafe for the first time since the quake.
Our home is probably about 14 metres above sea, well, it was 14 metres, it's probably about 18 to 20 metres now above sea level, and about sort of probably 50 metres or so back from the coast.
And this was a week and a half ago. And when did you get into Kaikoura town where you are now in your own cafe? When did that happen?
Just after midday today. So we, about 3 or 4 days ago, were told that it's going to be probably between 3 to 6 months before they'll get road access back along our northern state highway. So our nearest neighbours are the Oho Point baby seals, and so the Oho bluffs have just all fallen down, and so there's this massive slip to clear there, and then there's a really big one to the north of our home as well. So we're sort of pretty much isolated out there. We had about 2.5 k's of Highway 1 all to ourselves for, 11 days.
And so for 11 days you were just trapped there. How did you communicate with the outside world?
Well, the first communication we had was on the Tuesday morning. A helicopter landed just to check that we were okay, and then we actually managed to walk out to the north, the slip to the north of us, and met up with one of the local beekeepers. He was on the other side of the slip. He'd just serendipitously turned up at the same moment we got around there. So he took us north to around Clarence Point, showed us all the damage over on that side, and managed to get, his phone was working around Clarence Point, so we got a phone call out to our parents then and family. So that was our first sort of contact really with our families, just let them know we were okay.
It's almost impossible to imagine in the 21st century in a country like New Zealand, but you really were literally cut off from the outside world. Yeah,
we were pretty well. Our home is off the grid anyway, so we were probably better than a lot of people in some ways. We had power right throughout, so even during the night of the earthquake, so immediately after the quake, we ran around for a little while and jumped in our car to listen to the radio and just hear, well, where was this? Was it just here, or was it other places as well? So then we got a little bit of a handle on what was going on, but because communications out of Kaikoura go down so badly, there was very little information about the local situation, so we really didn't know, probably for 48 hours, what was going on in Kaikoura.
So you own the cafe that you were doing this interview from, which looks a lovely place, and you are also the dentist in Kaikoura. How are both your businesses, now that you've made it into town for the first time in 11 days, how are they?
Well, surprisingly, town seems, compared to what we've seen at home, town seems remarkably kind of normal. There's, people driving around the roads, pretty much compared to Christchurch after the earthquake, where all the roads were buckled and everything. That's what our home's like. But in Kaikoura Township, the roads and things are absolutely, fine and drivable. And the nice thing is, just as we got to town, we heard that the sewerage had been reinstated. So that's a real treat for us. So we might have to be able to have a shower tonight, which is going to be nice.
Luxury Chris Lidgard from Kaikoura.